Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. And if you're just joining us, thank you for joining us this morning. The Joseph House, a nonprofit charitable organization that helps the poor and homeless. It's run by the Little Sisters of Jesus and Mary, a community of Catholic women. And I'm joined this morning by Sister Virginia Peckham and Mr. Rudolph Drummond, who is the resident program manager of the Joseph House Workshop. We want to say good morning and welcome to you both. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning.
Thank you.
I gave a line of a snippet from the website. Tell us really about the heart of Joseph House and what it is.
Well, our foundress, Sister Mary Elizabeth Gintling, was especially concerned about stabilizing families, individuals of course, but families. So our Joseph House ministries are oriented to helping families to survive and thrive and stay together and of course avoid homelessness. We give financial assistance to stave off evictions, utility cutoffs. We have a food pantry, a soup kitchen. We also have a hospitality room for the homeless, a day shelter for the homeless. We also reach out to individuals. We have a payee program and a good neighbor program to help people with activities of daily living.
A lot going on over there. Now, one of the things we were talking about is a big part of that is volunteers and helping you all, you ladies, make that happen. How does it work? Or is there always a need for volunteers? What is the need right now as it goes at the Joseph House?
Well, all of these ministries require volunteers, and Rudy will talk about volunteers for the Joseph House Workshop, which is another ministry that we have. So we always do need people who give their time and their talents to us. And their prayers. And
their prayers, indeed. Tell us about the workshop. It's a resident. People live there. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, the Joseph House Workshop is a long-term residential program for jobless and homeless men.
Okay, and long-term, and people are probably thinking, oh, what, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days?
No, these guys can stay there for up to 2 years.
Wonderful.
And we have job training skills and all kinds of life skills classes for those guys, and all the while trying to connect them back to their families and giving them the love and support they need in order to get back into the community, which helps build a stronger community.
Now, we were talking before we came on air, and I was asking, so we have eight people, 9 including yourself, live there. I'm like, is there a cook? Is there a maid? These men are helping maintain their living environment.
Well, we couldn't be doing life skills if they weren't learning themselves how to cook and clean. But they maintain the house. They do all the cleaning. They do the cooking. They maintain the outside yard work, and they even go out in the community and do work out in the community as well. When people need certain things like their yards cleaned or snow removed and things like that. So.
Oh gosh, knock on the green wood here. Hopefully they won't need that soon, but who knows. You also were mentioning you're learning how to go back into the world. I mean, you get 2 years to do that, but the hope is to get them to go back to families, to go back to working, and to that end, you're actually helping them build these skills. They're saving money. Some of them get jobs. How does that process work? Is it a long-term thing for many?
Well, we at the Joseph House Workshop, we believe in empowering men to become productive members of society.
Okay.
And you just can't do that with giving someone a place to live.
Right.
You also have to have transportation. You have to have training skills for them, resume writing skills, interview skills. And we have volunteers who come in and do all those skills. Volunteers is what we need, by the way. But it's really a long process. The first 3 months there, the guys learn to focus on themselves and really take a good look at where their life has been and where it could go with the right help and love and attention. And then all the while we support them, try to connect them back with their families, because as their families see the change in them, they also want to get re-involved with their lives as well. And by the time they get work, we also have a program that helps them save their money. And usually if they follow the program to the full, they'll end up with money in the bank, a full-time job, a vehicle, and someplace to go and live.
And they come pretty much with none of that, many of them.
The clothes on their back.
Wow. You did mention teachers, volunteers for that. How does it work? You mentioned that there was a need for resume writing instructors maybe, or what are some of the other things that, was that God? What are some of the other, tell them we said hello. What are some of the other things that you could use? Because I know we have some people who have a skill set that they are so anxious to use. Talk to us about some of the needs that you have.
We have a whole curriculum set up, and we do anything from emotional maturity to resume writing skills. Some people do cooking, cleaning, inventory process, anything that could help the guys learn and grow into some type of skill. And we welcome all volunteers. We're actually looking forward to the beginning to the middle of March, starting a new class of 3 guys. Okay. And that's when we'll be putting together those classes. So anybody out there who wants to come and volunteer, that would be great. And
we'll give you some information, some contact information to give the workshop a call to actually volunteer for that portion. It sounds like a wonderful part, a wonderful arm of the Joseph House. Now, I know we talked about there's always a need for things in the food pantry.
Yes, non-perishable food items. And of course, we always need money for all of our ministries. We exist on donations, on goodwill donations.
And even a car, you'd mentioned, like if someone has a functioning car,
that's
because
right.
Families need that
well.
as well.
You know, they rely on cars. Public transportation doesn't do it for some families, but their jobs and their children's needs and so on. So.
And to do that, all of that, we can contact the Joseph House.
Yes.
And we can call them at 410-749-2394. And then we have the number for the workshop. We can pull that up, 410-749-8150. And there's thejosephhouse.org to get more information about the wonderful work that you guys are doing collectively over there. So it just sounds like a great opportunity to do ministry and to do work. And if you want to volunteer and take part, give them a call. I'm glad we had you on to hear more about what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for sharing with us this morning. All right, stay with us. We will be right back.